Hey there, internets. This is Kyle with another edition of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well today. We're on day 109 from this guy trying to start an online business and get from $0 to $1 million within the course of a year. And haven't actually launched the business kind of officially yet, I guess you could say. So I am a little bit behind schedule, but that's all right. These videos are intended more for my own accountability purposes, just keeping myself accountable for trying to make a little progress either in, actual building out some aspect of the online business, whether that's content generation or just the overall infrastructure, what I need to have to start to sell stuff, or if it's just kind of more research and thinking through what exactly I want to do. That's fine too. And frankly, that's where I've been more so today. Just kind of honestly haven't physically done anything with the business, but just been thinking through in my mind, again, the strategy for how I want to get to where I'm going. Random aside, I was watching a video from Tom Bilyeu, who's the co-founder of Quest Nutrition, I think it's called. That company sold for $1 billion, and he got a pretty handsome sum of cash out of that deal. And now he's started a new thing called Impact Theory, which is, I don't know exactly, but it's just some whatever online mindset education, whatever, typical stuff. But I thought listening to an interview of him, he was on the Iced Coffee Hour with Graham Stephan. I thought his interview was actually pretty good and offered some unique perspective, so I'm not really interested in, again, forking over some more money for some other program to sit through and watch hours and hours worth of videos endlessly. But if I did have that amount of time, I'd probably sign up for his thing because he seems like a pretty legit dude and came from an interesting background and upbringing and yet figured out how to grow $1 billion business without any real formal training. He was originally like a screenwriter or writer. Anyway, through a variety of circumstances, ended up trying to figure out how to make protein bars that tasted good without sugar. So that was a good video discussion, whatever. What else been going on today? I did have another interview for, potential change in my day job, which again went well as I expected it would. I don't know. I guess it went about the way I thought it would go, which was not a ton of discussion about my background or specifically, but more discussion about where the company's at, what the company's interests are. And I definitely got the feeling that, this guy's perspective, and he said he had already talked to the previous guy I had been interviewing with over two days previously, that they seem inclined to want to bring me on. I don't know. Basically, they said I would probably be a good fit for the role, given my background. Kind of an interesting thing for a variety of reasons, but nevertheless, that's what they think, so that's fine. And so I'll be curious, see what the follow-up is there. I already had another interview scheduled on Friday with a different guy in the company, somebody else that I guess I'd be working with regularly there. And so I'll be interested to see what his role is, learn more about that, and just his thoughts on where and how I could, fit into their team and what they're doing and stuff. Still a little uncertain in terms of, if they really do choose to make me an offer, what would I do with that? And this is under the assumption that they're able to pay me as much or ideally more than what I'm making now, just because if I were to make a shift, this new job would certainly probably require a bit more time, energy, effort, whatever, travel, which I think warrants a higher salary. But I already make a good salary for the level of work that I do, and I'm not sure they could pay significantly more than that. So anyway, I'm just thinking through what would I do if number one, if they were able to actually come through and offer me a fair increase in my salary, that would make it easier from the just compensation question point of view, and from my accepting that, yes, I'll probably have to do more work, but hey, I'm going to get paid more for doing it, so this is probably a good deal. I should go for it. Conceivably one option. Second option is maybe they at least offer me something on par with what I'm making now. Then it's well, I've already decided I, again, really don't like my current job. So is this job, knowing it's going to involve more work, is it a big enough change for me that I would find, I don't know, significantly higher value in myself or whatever by doing this new job, that even though I wouldn't be getting paid more, it would be worth it just from a, I don't know, mental health almost point of view of just being happy with the work that I'm doing, day in, day out. Because I think that is obviously an important point of all this. whether you're doing an online business thing, as I'm trying to do here to this channel, as I'm describing my process, or if you're just dealing with your own day job, your typical 9 to 5, working for somebody else, that is a significant fraction of our lives that we are devoting to these endeavors. And while certainly it's important to make as much money as possible, so you're ensuring not only like your and your spouse's financial security, later in life, but ultimately even be able to provide financial security for your children, that whole generational wealth kind of question, then, so, that is important. Yes, that's part of the equation, obviously. Another part of the equation, and I'm not sure maybe what the right split is, if it's like, it should be 50% based on the economic potential of a job, 50% based on the other piece, which is just your own kind of personal enjoyment of the job. I don't know if it's like 50-50 split. I would probably weight it a little bit more on the economic benefits, just because me personally, having come from a family of very modest means and, wanting to build something bigger for my own family, I certainly value being well compensated for the work that I do and using that, again, for the benefit of my own family. But again, as I've learned now that I've progressed in my career to a point where, I think I'm paid very well, again, for the work that I do. I'm probably kind of at the top end of the market in terms of my specific field, which is great. I'm blessed to be in this position. And so now what I'm feeling is more the other side of it, is what I'm doing day to day. I'm spending 40, 50, however many hours a week in doing these tasks in this job to meet my responsibilities of duties that I've signed up to do in exchange for the money that I'm getting every week in my bank account. Is this really something that, again, I have some level of personal fulfillment in doing? And again, that's what ultimately drove me to pursue other opportunities, because I just don't have that at all, pretty much, in my current gig, and just very frustrating and, very hard to get motivated to do much of anything, to be honest. I've tried, especially over the last, 12 to 18 months, to try to develop better habits in my own kind of daily routines, which has frankly not been something I've ever really been that good at. Of course, some part of my rationale of why I even bother with it is because, again, I feel like I've been pretty successful kind of doing the things I've done in my life thus far, or at least in my career side. So I'm kind of like, why should I change that? Doing pretty well. So I guess I have a process of doing things, and it's not just it's not your typical I want to wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm going to work out for 30 minutes. I'm going to get in a cold plunge for 10 minutes and sit in a sauna for an hour, or whatever the thing is that people do these days. I haven't, again, not done all that. But that's not to say I haven't tried to sort of at least try to move in that direction, because I know definitely there are things I do in my daily life that are not healthy habits. I know I need to make some improvements. Again, I'm 40 years old now. I need to pay more attention to what I eat and how I take care of my body. And, I've never been one big workout guy. I've been through periods of my life where, I'll do some kind of physical fitness for, some number of months and whatever, just feel like it's not worth my time or whatever the case is, and just stop doing it. And I realize that's not great. Again, for me, it's not only important for me to provide financially to my family, it's important for me to provide myself to my family. As a husband, as a father to my children, I want to be around to help my family as long as possible on this earth, and taking care of myself better will help in that regard, I guess. And it's not just about health, it's just about productivity. Am I being as productive as I can be? Am I, again, kind of regulating my health in terms of food intake and exercise to kind of maximize my ability to be productive in my job? Frankly, I'm the type of guy that, 3 o'clock rolls around in the afternoon, I'm kind of toasted and I'm just need to take a nap. Sometimes I do, because sometimes it just helps to take a little 20-minute nap, get it out of your system, and then get back to work. That's okay. But so anyway, I've done some research and listened to various podcasts and YouTube videos about, again, trying to develop better habits. And the bottom line is, without having a job that's really kind of motivating me to really be more productive during the day, I just don't have a lot of motivation to get into any of those things. And, I just find myself in the mornings, not a lot of motivation, because I don't really want to go to my job. I obviously know I have to go, I have to show up, I have to do some stuff, but I have no motivation to really get after it in the morning and just get to work. And, Alex Hormozy talks a lot about, he also isn't really one that's big on having set routines and getting up at 3 a.m. to do this or whatever. he is generally a person I think that is a morning person, but he acknowledges like that doesn't have to be you. That's just what works for him. But his main point is like he gets up whenever he gets up at 5, 6, whatever time he wakes up. He's just like, I just get to work. Like I don't bullshit around like with all these morning routines and talk to the mirror, tell myself I'm a lion or whatever affirmation you want to talk about. It's like I just get to work. And like I work from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. by myself before, and 9 a.m. is when he might start having to have meetings with other people or whatever the case is. And obviously he knows that personal productivity will go down after that, so he just spends again as much time as he can working by himself before he gets that deluge of people that need his attention and his time. But again, that's just in my current job, I'm just not motivated to do that. Versus, again, I think this new job would be more motivating in that regards and would give me more of a deeper meaning, I guess, for wanting to excel and do well in my job, and thus provide me still, probably the economic benefit, hopefully at the same level, if not a little bit better. But what I'm gaining compared to my current situation, I'm gaining that benefit of having some level of fulfillment in my job, which again I think is important. So again, I'm just stuck with this dilemma of like, what would I do in these situations? Again, pay raise might make it an easier decision if it's on par. Maybe that's a moderately easy decision. Or if they say, well, we just can't pay you what you're paying you. We can't afford to pay you at the level that you're making now. I'd ultimately have to take whatever the thing is, say it's a 10% pay cut if I want to do this job. Does, again, the personal fulfillment side outweigh the fact that I'm losing on the economic side significantly enough? I don't know. I don't really know how to weigh that, but whatever. I'll just deal with that whenever they make me an offer, if they ever make me an offer. It's a bit of a slow process, so I don't know quite what to think about that. I mean, on one hand, I could just say, well, it's just a very busy company. There's lots of things going on there, and the individual people that are in charge of working this process are all just like super tied up and don't have the time to really focus on just getting this decision made about this particular position. And so yes, they maybe are definitely interested in me, but they've just got to kind of work through the process, and it's just very slow because they, again, want me to talk to different people and they have different schedules. And so all these individual like interviews I'm having are all spaced out, and they're all being done virtually. They haven't even talked to me about, hey, we'd like you to come out to our facilities and whatever, hang out with us for a day. I would expect maybe they would want to do that before they would make an offer, but I don't know, maybe they don't care about that. So I could look at it that way, which is to say it just is what it is. On the other hand, I kind of wonder, like, are they just intentionally sort of stalling because maybe they feel that I'm a reasonable candidate, but I'm not the best candidate, and they're kind of maybe holding out hopes that maybe somebody else will drop in a resume to their job posting who's a much better fit. And so maybe if they just hold off on making the decision, I mean, still keep me on the line, so to speak, because maybe push comes to shove, they would hire me, but maybe I'm not the perfect fit for what they're looking for, so they're going to try to hold out a little bit longer. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing. Who knows? But again, I don't really think about it too much. Again, I'm fortunate to be in a position where I'm not, holding out I'm not unemployed, so it's not like I really need to get this job decision done like now. I mean, obviously if I was in that situation, I would have put out a ton of applications, and presumably at this point would have had multiple interviews already with multiple different companies. This, one opportunity was just kind of a target opportunity because I know people that work at this company already. I've worked at this company in the past through my past job, I guess. So it just kind of made sense for me to reach out, at least see what was there, and yeah, it's turned into this now. So that's on that day job front. On another piece of the puzzle in this journey of life, which I realize this video today is more about just the life of Kyle versus the life of building an online business, but whatever. It's my channel, so I can do what I want, right? Other pieces that I did list a rental property for sale. I talked about that previously of why I wanted to sell this rental property, but it's actually not even officially listed like for the public to see, but the realtors when they get a listing, they'll put it into the MLS system, which is where all the whatever real estate listings go through, clearinghouse of sorts, and they just put it to coming soon, which I guess allows other realtors to see that it's coming soon, obviously, but it's not put out to the public, so you can't go on Zillow and find it because it's not there. So then it'll go like active, I think this Thursday. Right now it's Tuesday, it just became Tuesday because it's midnight, but let's just say it's Monday. So on Thursday, it'll go to active, and then it gets pushed out to all the Zillow and whatever other real estate websites for the general public to start seeing, which is also what usually triggers, like if somebody's working with a real estate agent already and they've got like searches set up, queries set up, again, those people will start getting notifications once it actually goes active. So you expect the level of activity to significantly ramp up once it gets to that stage. But that being said, again, it's already put out there for other realtors to at least know about it. I mean, I think like today it was literally the first day it was in the system, and my agent called me up this evening to say that we've already got an offer at the full list price. So that's good news. I mean, that's as I mentioned in the previous videos, I chose to list it at a price that's not, I wouldn't say at the high end of the market, but is certainly at the higher end, given the circumstances of what the property is, where it's located, etc. Definitely, I would say pushing the boundaries of what one might expect to get, again, based on how big it is and where it's located. But the fact that we've already got a signed offer at least says that we probably made a good decision on that front. And even though it might be a little high, there's still people looking for property, at least in this area, as a rental property. It's generating income regularly and has positive cash flow. So again, there's tons of real estate investor types out there, big business folks that have been doing it for decades, and there's just tons of smaller folks like myself who just want to try to make an extra buck buying rental properties. That's what I was doing 2 years ago, and there's lots of other people like that, just like me, looking for these types of deals. So I did not accept the offer, because it would be stupid for me just to accept an offer just at the list price before it's actually even gone active on the market. So, but again, the fact that we have signed offers is great now, because now everybody that will see it on Thursday, once it goes like live, they're going to have their agent call my agent. My agent's going to say, oh, well, we've already got an offer. It's a pretty good offer. So if your client wants to make an offer, it needs to be pretty damn good. So then you get this whole competition sort of thing spun up, which is good, because that drives up sale price, gets me better terms. It's still a seller's market here where I'm at least. And so that's good for me. And yeah, I'm just good. I'm happy about that, I guess. This was the decision I made. And if if this all goes through, I sell it even at the list price, this will be a great financial success for my family and be a significant benefit for us in many ways, and so that's all good news. And frankly, part of it, I'll probably be able to put more into the business here, maybe hire a virtual assistant or something, try to make a little faster progress, since obviously my progress to date has been slow. And yeah, so it's all good news. Hope you're all doing well. Keep on kicking ass, taking names, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.